Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajeem. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. Assalamualaikum. Dear students, I am Aftab Alim Farooqi, Assistant Professor in Biochemistry at Government Degree Science College, Malir, Karachi. Now today I am starting the syllabus of Biochemistry BSc Part 2, and I have choose first. I am starting the paper 3 first of all. Paper 3 basically consists of metabolism. All kinds of metabolism are included in this course title: Metabolism, Basic Concepts and Design. This is the basic concepts of design, and I have selected the topic anabolic, catabolic and amphibolic pathways, energy cycles in cells. Now I am first of all I would like to give us some detail about the concepts of metabolism, because in BSc final two major courses are included: metabolism of carbohydrates, metabolism of lipids, metabolism of amino acids. These topics are included in paper 3, while in paper 4 metabolism of DNA is solely consists of the 65% course of paper 4, and the remaining 35% syllabus is included the hormones. So this is very tough syllabus in BSc final year according to University of Karachi syllabus. Now I am starting first of all the definition of metabolism. So first of all, as you know that all the living organisms, including the human beings, when we will take heavy balanced diet or breakfast, then the digestion is started in the stomach. Okay, so where our balanced diet is consist of carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, mineral salts and water. So first of all, digestion is started in stomach, and then further it is carry on in the anterior part of the alimentary canal, like the small intestine, large intestine. So all kinds of balanced diet is converted into simpler ones products through the metabolism reactions. So I am starting here first of all the metabolism, because in depth study the concept of metabolism is very necessary for understanding. Now metabolism is the sum of all the chemical transformations that occur in a cell or organism, which occurs in a series of enzyme catalyzed reactions that constitute metabolic pathways. It means that first of all, like the digestion of carbohydrate, so we are taking the carbohydrate in the form of polysaccharide in different forms like cellulose, starch, dextrin and glycogen. So these are the types of polysaccharide, and they have to convert it into the simpler one, diffusible form, that is glucose. So how the polysaccharide type of carbohydrate will be converted into its simpler one, monosaccharide glucose molecules. So how this process will be regulated? So this process is solely regulated because of the action of enzyme catalyzed series of reactions. Different types of enzymes will be acted timely, and all the reactions will be considered regulated from the passage of time. So this is the some brief detail about the metabolism. Now metabolism is consist of two parts, or we can say that there is a two types of metabolism. Number one is the catabolism. Catabolism is the degradative phase of metabolism, in which organic nutrients, molecules, carbohydrate, fats and proteins are converted into simpler one end products, that is lactic acid, carbon dioxide and ammonia. And detailed pathways release energy. Some energy, quantity of energy conserved in the formation of ATP and reduce electron carriers like NADH and NADPH. So it means that catabolism is a phase of metabolism in which all these macrobiomolecules like carbohydrate, fats and proteins are converted into their simpler ones. Like carbohydrate will be converted into lactic acid or glucose, fats will be converted into its fatty acids and glycerol, and also the proteins are converted into the amino acids, as well as in some their cases carbon dioxide and ammonia molecules are also liberated. So when these macrobiomolecules are degraded and converted into simpler end products, therefore as a result of the energy will be released. And how the energy in which form release? This is the ATP formation, because ATP is the adenosine triphosphate. This energy is consumed in living organisms for the performance of their vital activities. All kinds of activities which we are performing, this ATP is consumed. And how this ATP is consumed? It is consumed and converted into the ADP, and PI inorganic phosphate will be released. And as a result, further as far as the reduced electron carriers, NADH and NADPH are also synthesized. Now I am coming towards the second phase of metabolism, that is the anabolism. Anabolism is a biosynthesis. Small simple precursors are built into larger and more complex molecules, including lipids, polysaccharides, proteins and nucleic acids. अब देखें, जो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल था कैटाबोलिज्म, उसमें ये मैक्रोबायोमोलेक्यूल्स डिग्रेड होते हैं, उनकी डिकम्पोजिशन होती है, वो टूटते हैं, एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस करते हैं. बट द सेकेंड फेज ऑफ एनाबोलिज्म इन विच द monomers, for example, residues of amino acids are also will also again arrange in the series of polymers of polypeptide linkage of amino acids, which is called the proteins. It means we can say that the amino acid will arrange through the peptide bonds and form the protein. As far as the glucose molecules are also arranged in a very long chain of alpha-1,4 glycosidic linkage and form the polysaccharides, right? So the simpler one monomer molecules are converted into their large macrobiomolecules, okay? And also the amino acids and lipids are also, when fatty acids will esterified the glycerol molecule, therefore the lipids will be formed. And as far as the nucleic acids also synthesized. So how the nucleic acid synthesized? It means there are the three major components are required for the synthesis of nucleic acid, and we know that there are two major types of nucleic acid. One is deoxyribonucleic acid, that is termed as DNA, and another is the ribonucleic acid, which is termed as RNA. So the three major essential components, elements are required for the synthesis of nucleic acid. One is the nitrogen bases, and second is the phosphate group, and number third one is the ribose sugar. Okay. Now anabolic reactions require the input of energy, generally in the forms of free energy of hydrolysis of ATP and the reducing power of NADH and NADPH. It means that anabolic reactions require the energy to conserve. यहाँ पर एनर्जी कंजर्व होती है और कैटाबोलिक रिएक्शन में एनर्जी रिलीज होती है. यहाँ पर एनाबोलिक रिएक्शंस में एटीपी की हाइड्रोलिसिस चाहिए होती है ताकि एडीपी मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, और वो फिर एनाबोलिक रिएक्शंस में मैक्रोबायोमोलेक्यूल्स की प्रोडक्शन में इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करते हैं. और साथ ही में यहाँ पर रिड्यूसिंग पावर एनएडीएच और एनएडीपीएच ये भी दरकार होती हैं, इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसपोर्ट चेन से ये प्रोड्यूस होते हैं. Now I am coming towards the fate of dietary components after digestion and absorption. constituents intermediary metabolism. It means the fate of dietary components after digestion and absorption constitutes intermediary metabolism. So metabolic pathways fall into three categories. Number one is the anabolic phase, anabolic pathways. ठीक है, this pathway is involved in the synthesis of the compounds constituting the body's structure and machinery. It means that carbohydrates, lipids and proteins, when they are synthesized through the anabolic pathways, so they will improve our body health, physical structure. Okay, proteins are required in the form of muscles. As far as the lipids are also required as a layer, superficial layer, which is present in the muscles, below the muscle, our skin. As far as the carbohydrates also produce the energy. So majorly three major macrobiomolecules are played important role in the anabolic pathways. Number second is the catabolic pathways. Catabolic pathways involve oxidative processes. Catabolic pathways involve oxidative processes that release free energy, usually in the form of high energy phosphate and reducing equivalents. For example, the respiratory chain and oxidative phosphorylation. So catabolic reactions में क्या होता है कि ये ऑक्सीडेटिव प्रोसेस होता है, फ्री एनर्जी रिलीज होती है, हाई एनर्जी एटीपी से पहले बताया कि इसमें एटीपी मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं और वो रेस्पिरेटरी चेन ऑक्सीडेटिव फास्फोराइलेशन के जरिए आपको मिल जाते हैं. नंबर थर्ड वन इज द टाइप ऑफ पाथवे इज कॉल्ड द एम्फीबॉलिक पाथवे. This pathway have more than one function and occur at the crossroads of metabolism, acting as links between the anabolic and catabolic pathways. For example, citric acid cycle. This is the very important type of pathway, amphibolic pathway. It means understand through this figure. थ्रू दिस डायग्राम आप समझ सकते हैं. ये एक थोड़ा सा हमने एक्सप्लेन किया है यहाँ पर. देखिए यहाँ इन दिस डायग्राम आप समझ सकते हैं कि फूड मॉलिक्यूल्स दे आर कन्वर्टेड टू द डाइजेशन प्रोसेस एंड कन्वर्टेड द सिंपलर वन मॉलिक्यूल्स. व्हेन दीज सिंपलर वन मॉलिक्यूल्स लाइक अमीनो एसिड्स यील्ड फ्रॉम द डाइजेशन ऑफ प्रोटीन्स, ग्लूकोज ऑब्टेन्ड फ्रॉम द डाइजेशन ऑफ कार्बोहाइड्रेट, fatty acids and glycerol are obtained from the digestion of lipids. Then there is the next process is coming, that is the absorption of these simpler molecules into the blood stream in the colon, right? इलियम भी कहते हैं इसे. ओके, नाउ अब यहाँ पर जो बात है वो समझने की कि एब्जॉर्प्शन के बाद यहाँ पर एक नया प्रोसेस है एम्फीबॉलिक पाथवे का. एम्फीबॉलिक पाथवे के बाद यहाँ पर इन तमाम प्रोडक्ट्स के पास दो रास्ते होते हैं कि ये किन दो पाथवे में जाना चाहते हैं. एम्फीबॉलिक पाथवे वो जगह है कि जहाँ से इन तमाम सिंपल मॉलिक्यूल्स को आगे जाने के लिए दो रूट्स दरकार हैं. या तो वो कैटाबॉलिक पाथवेज में चले जाएंगे जिसमें वो फर्दर वो ब्रेक डाउन होगी इनकी, और ये जो है फर्दर फिर वहाँ पर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड वाटर प्रोड्यूस होता है, रिड्यूसिंग इक्विवेलेंट टू हाइड्रोजन मॉलिक्यूल प्रोड्यूस होते हैं, फॉस्फेट एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस होती है. एक बात. दूसरी बात ये है कि या फिर अगर ये कैटाबॉलिक में पाथवे में जाकर प्रोड्यूस नहीं कर एनर्जी, देन अगेन दे विल फर्दर कन्वर्टेड इनटू द एनाबॉलिक पाथवे. ये एरो के ऊपर देख लें आप, एनाबॉलिक पाथवे लिखा है. तो एनाबॉलिक पाथवे में क्या होगा कि दोबारा ये जो है एनाबॉलिक रिएक्शंस के ज़रिए ये अगेन प्रोटीन्स, कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स और लिपिड मॉलिक्यूल्स में ये कन्वर्ट हो जाएंगे. ओके, तो इस तरह से यहाँ पर जो है अब यहाँ पर एम्फीबॉलिक पाथवेज का सबसे बेस्ट एग्जांपल जो है वो एनर्जी साइकिल है सिट्रिक एसिड साइकिल. क्योंकि देखें अब अगर फर्ज कर लें कि ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल्स में आपको आई वुड लाइक टू एग्जांपल द मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ ग्लूकोज. दिस ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल विच इज ऑब्टेन्ड, राइट? Now there are two options for glucose molecule. Either it has to go in the catabolic pathway through the glycolysis process, and then later on the citric acid cycle. The citric cycle will produce the converted one glucose molecule into the carbon dioxide and water molecule, and 36 ATP molecules are produced. This is mean that this is a catabolic pathway of glucose. While if the glucose is converted again the glycogen, then through the glycogenesis process, then it will convert to the carbohydrate glycogen. Okay, so this is the basic concept about the basic concept of the metabolism. Now, the biomedical importance. Normal metabolism includes the variations and adaptations in metabolism due to the periods of starvation, exercise, pregnancy and lactation. देखिए ये तमाम जो वो तरीके हैं वो स्टारवेशन, एक्सरसाइज, प्रेगनेंसी, लैक्टेशन, ये सब जो है आपके नॉर्मल मेटाबॉलिज्म को वेरिएट करते हैं. एबनॉर्मल मेटाबॉलिज्म रिजल्ट फ्रॉम न्यूट्रिशन डेफिशिएंसी और एबनॉर्मल सिक्रीशंस ऑफ हार्मोन्स. यानी एबनॉर्मल मेटाबॉलिज्म रिजल्ट किस वजह से होता है? न्यूट्रिशन डेफिशिएंसी, किसी चीज़ की आपके मैल न्यूट्रिशन का शिकार हैं, डेफिशिएंसी है प्रोटीन्स की या कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स की, बैलेंस डाइट में फुल मीट प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं मिल रहे हैं, मीट एंड डेयरी प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं हैं, ये तो एबनॉर्मल वेरिएशन ऑफ हार्मोन्स ये भी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल प्ले करता है. तो एन इम्पॉर्टेंट एग्जांपल ऑफ डिजीज रिजल्टिंग फ्रॉम एन एबनॉर्मल मेटाबॉलिज्म इंसुलिन हार्मोन कॉज डायबिटीज mellitus. So understand this concept of how the diabetes mellitus is produced, is caused. The major causing agent is the deficiency or lackness of the synthetic secretion of insulin hormone that will result the cause of the diabetes mellitus disease. Now I am coming towards the important points necessity for metabolism. Metabolic pathways are regulated at three levels. Number first, the first and most immediate responsive form of regulation of allosteric enzymes which are capable of changing their catalytic activity in response to stimulatory or inhibitory modulator. देखें यहाँ पर जो allosteric enzymes क्या होते हैं? allosteric enzymes की अपनी एक particularly specific cleft sites, active sites नहीं होती हैं. They will change their active site or cleft site according to the incoming modulator or substrate molecules. What will be the structure of cleft sites or structure of the modulator or substrate? They will change a catalytic site according to the incoming substrate molecule structure. Okay, so this is the main important point of the allosteric enzymes. Okay, now the metabolic control is exerted at a second level in higher organisms by hormonal regulation. So hormones are chemical messengers released by one tissue that stimulate or inhibit some processes in other tissue. The second major important factor which control the metabolism role in but we are talking about the human beings, that is the hormone secretion. So hormones basically synthesized from ductless glands. वो glands जिनमें कोई डक्ट नहीं होती है उनको डक्टलेस ग्लैंड्स या एंडोक्राइन ग्लैंड्स कहा जाता है. Here the hormones are the chemical messengers which are released from one tissue and they are released from far away from their particular site of organ. Okay, so hormones are chemical messengers released by one tissue that stimulate or inhibit some processes in another tissue. So I would again example the insulin hormone, and you know that you have understand how the diabetes mellitus disease is caused because of the lackness of the synthetic secretion of insulin hormone. We know that insulin hormone is control the metabolism of glucose level in human body. If the in pancreas, from where the insulin hormone is synthesized, insulin hormone is synthesized from the pancreas, and here there are the particular type of beta Langerhans cells of pancreas which are responsible for the secretion of the insulin hormone. Insulin hormone is basically a dipeptidal nature hormone, so which secreted the insulin hormone, which directly diffuses the insulin hormone into the bloodstream and it reaches towards the particular site of organ, that is liver. And their liver is the which consists of the hepatic cells, and the hepatic cells is you know that is the superficial layer. We know that plasma membrane is covered the whole hepatic cells. So hepatic cells की सरफेस पर यहाँ पर रिसेप्टर्स मौजूद होते हैं. उन रिसेप्टर्स के साथ हार्मोन इंसुलिन की बाइंडिंग होती है जिसकी वजह से हार्मोन रिसेप्टर कॉम्प्लेक्स फॉर्मेशन होती है, और फिर उसके बाद जो है यहाँ पर इंसुलिन हार्मोन अंदर पेनिट्रेट कर जाते हैं. इसकी वजह से ग्लूकोज मॉलिक्यूल हेपेटिक सेल्स के अंदर और फिर वो ग्लाइकोजन में कन्वर्ट हो जाते हैं थ्रू द ग्लाइकोजेनेसिस प्रोसेस बिकॉज ऑफ द लिवर ग्लाइकोजन सिंथेटेज एंजाइम के ज़रिए, राइट। तो यहाँ पर जो है इस तरह से ये जो है वो इंसुलिन हार्मोन का फंक्शन है। अब देखें, अगर इंसुलिन हार्मोन सेंसिटिविटी नॉर्मल हो रही है तो फिर ग्लूकोज लेवल जो जितना बैलेंस डाइट लेने के बाद काफ़ी लेवल इसका ऊंचा हो गया है, वो हाई हो गया है, वो फिर जो है बैलेंस डाइट खाने के लेने के बाद तकरीबन 4 घंटे बाद अपने नॉर्मल लेवल पर आ जाता है। ये तो नॉर्मल कंडीशन है। लेकिन अगर जो है ग्लूकोज इंसुलिन हार्मोन इज नॉट नॉर्मली सेक्रेटेड फ्रॉम द आइलेट्स ऑफ बीटा लैंगरहान सेल्स ऑफ पैंक्रियाज, देयरफॉर द लेवल ऑफ द ग्लूकोज will be increases gradually and it will decreases to the abnormal level, which is called the hyperglycemia condition. Therefore patient will be suffered in diabetes mellitus